Stop carrying big bulky pro cameras for your vacation. These two small tiny Panasonic Lumix cameras prove that Micro Four Thirds is the ultimate travel photography camera system, and it's not just about the size. Hey friends, Gary here. Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to share why both the Panasonic Lumix G100 and the Panasonic Lumix GF9 are my best travel cameras. I use them a lot for travel photography. This last few months I took them to so many different countries, take so many beautiful pictures with them, and I really love and enjoy using them as travel cameras. And I come to the realization that sometimes the best travel camera isn't just about how competent the camera is. You know, there could be a camera that can produce 1000 megapixel, can shoot really fast up to 100 photos per second, and probably has about 100 stops of dynamic range and autofocus that is faster than the speed of light. But if that camera is not inspiring or fun to use, it'll probably just be another gear that you won't use. First, let's talk about the Panasonic Lumix GF9. This is my smallest and lightest Micro Four Thirds camera, and that alone is a very important factor for travel photography. I remember back then, before I started using Micro Four Thirds cameras, I was using my DSLR. It is big, it is heavy, it is bulky, and I ended up just leaving it at the hotel room, and I'm not using it to take photos when I'm traveling. And what I used instead was just my phone. So I ended up with crappy pictures, and I'm not too happy about it. So sometimes it's not just about, again, the specification of the camera. A camera that is small and lightweight is actually important, because that means you'll be more inclined to pick up the camera more. When you pick up the camera more, you use it more. When you use it more, you take more pictures. More pictures mean more practice. More practice means better photos every time. So yeah, a smaller camera for travel photography just makes a lot of sense, and the GF9 is a small camera. But being small doesn't mean that it is not competent. Actually, it features a great, dependable, reliable 16 megapixel Micro Four Thirds sensor. Image quality is definitely much better than just using my phone, so I'm always happy with the pictures captured with this camera. It is also not as expensive as some other mirrorless camera. This is very affordable, and it is very budget friendly. So yeah, instead of using your phones or a pro camera, this can be a great solution as well. In terms of performance, autofocus is very dependable, especially if you are using single autofocus. It is so fast, so accurate, so reliable. Also, boot time with most Micro Four Thirds cameras, especially the Panasonic Lumix ones, it is so fast. The time that you need when you turn on the camera until you can take photo is just less than 3 seconds. So you can capture something that is happening real time quickly, and you get less chance of missing a shot. Now, the only problem of being a small camera is ergonomics and control. So yeah, it doesn't have a great handling. There's nowhere to really rest your fingers comfortably, but if you are using smaller lenses, I think it is still fine. And also, it doesn't have lots of buttons and dials to control the camera. Shooting full manual is still possible. I mean, it has touchscreen, so you can adjust some things using the touchscreen, or set one of the buttons to switch between setting the aperture and the shutter speed, things like that. But shooting in priority mode, such as aperture priority or shutter priority, is not a problem. And that leads me nicely to the G100. Now, this is my most favorite travel camera ever. Period. Now it has some upgrades compared to the GF9. First of all, because it has some upgrades, of course it's going to be slightly bigger and slightly heavier than the GF9. But first of all, the issue with handling is solved. Now it has a chunky grip right here so that you can easily handle this camera even with larger lenses. It has front position shutter button. It has more buttons and dials for manual control. So operating the G100 is so much more easier compared to the GF9. And then it also has EVF right here, which I think is important for some situation where the lighting is tricky. You cannot really see the LCD screen, but you still need to compose your photo carefully. Other important feature is the fully articulating screen. I think this is very important, not just for selfie photography, for capturing yourself like that, but it is also important for vertical compositions. You cannot really do that with the GF9 because the GF9 only features a flip up screen, which is good. I think it's better than nothing. You can do this, again, selfie thing, and also you can set it like so it's about 90 degrees and you can do lower angle composition, stuff like that, but you cannot really do low angle vertical composition with this guy, which I do a lot, and a fully articulating screen just makes a lot more sense. Also, it has microphone jack, so not only this is a great travel photography camera, it is also a great travel video camera as well, because now you can record talking video with external microphone so you can get better audio quality, things like that. And also it has slightly better sensor, 20 megapixel micro four thirds sensor compared to the 16. The improvement, to be honest, is not that much, but still an upgrade nevertheless. Now both the G100 and the GF9 might not be the most perfect cameras in the world. No, they have many flaws. As we know, continuous autofocus with both of these cameras are garbage, and also there's no face detect autofocus, and there are many other flaws. But one thing about both of these cameras that I think is very important and is the emphasis of today's video is fun factor. I know it's not something that's really objective, it's not something that's really tangible and can be easily explained, but from my own personal experience using both of these cameras, they are so inspiring. The tactility, the feeling of using these cameras, the intuitiveness, how easy they are being operated, they're just inspiring. They are just so motivating. Makes me want to go out and take more pictures. That is so important in this day and age where I treat photography more like a treatment or for like entertainment, you know, to replace video game, to replace scrolling on social media, stuff like that. Photography needs to be fun, and when it's fun, then you'll be more inclined to take more photos instead of doom scrolling yourself to death looking at TikTok or Instagram. And yeah, a camera can be very competent, a camera can be flawless, but when it's not inspiring you to take more photos, when it's not fun to use, when it's not enjoyable or satisfying to operate, then it is pointless. You will not use that camera even though it can do anything. And that's the point that I want to share most importantly in today's video. So there you have it. Both the Panasonic G100 and GF9 is my best travel cameras, not only because of their specifications and features and functions, but also because they are fun. But enough about me. What about you? I also want to hear from you. What are your favorite travel cameras, whether you are using micro four thirds or different camera system? Please share on the comment down below. I love to hear from you. I love to read your comments. I love to learn from you. But anyway, enough for today's video. That's all about my G100 and GF9. Hopefully this has been interesting, entertaining, fun, and inspiring. And don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel down below. And if you want to support my work even further, which I will deeply appreciate, you can consider becoming a member of my Patreon. Check out my latest travel photography course called Simplifying Travel Photography. Use the affiliate links down below or use the super thanks button to make a small donation to my channel. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.